Good afternoon, dear students. How are you? Please write it in the live chat box if I'm audible or not. Do write to me in the live chat box if I'm audible or not. Please do let me know if I'm audible or not. How are you people keeping? Hope all well. All well, बच्चों लोग? Please let me know if I'm audible or not. Please let me know if I'm audible or not. Hello, Biswajit. How are you, beta? Please do let me know if I'm audible or not, Biswajit. Okay, okay. That's great. How are you doing? How are you doing, Biswajit? Kalayar, hi beta. Good to see you here. How are you? How are you? That's nice. Good. Both of you take good care of yourself. All of you rather who are listening to me right now. Please do drop in the messages in the chat box. I want to know my students. How are you people? How are you people, bacha log? All well? Okay, let us begin with the session then. Okay, fine, Biswajit. As you say, right? We are starting with the session. Fine. All right. So I welcome you all on this online learning platform being given to us by Unacademy. So it's helping the students like you. And let us begin. All right. So those students who have joined me. Okay, Biswajit, is it your first class today? No problem. No problem. We always start with the basics, so you won't face any problem, beta. Okay, you won't face any problem. And if at all you have any doubts, do let me know. I'm there to solve them. Right? Okay. Since it's your first class, it's you need to know who I am. I'm Namita Koranne. I'm Masters in Biomedical Technology with a degree of B.Ed, and I have 16 years of experience in teaching the pre-medical and entrance aspirants, students like you. All right. Okay. Fine, here we go. So the topic that we are going to do today is endocrine glands part 4. Okay. Okay, so here goes the turntable view of the brain. I mean, I just keep it every time because we started the endocrine glands with hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal, and this particular 3D model shows it very well. So somehow I get fascinated by this. Okay. All right. If you wish to see the hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal over here, though I had shown it to the other students the other day when we were doing them. If you want, I will tell it to you also. Okay. All right. The session is for 1 hour. Okay, so these are the mentors like us who are there to help you out, and they are professionals in their field. So you are really privileged to have them on board. All right. Why are we using this online platform? Because of the flexible schedule. We are all in the world of the pandemic right now, And if at all you miss any of the class because of your own certain schedule of the school classes, etc., etc., then you can always watch my recorded lectures, right? You can select the language of your choice. You have selected English, so you are listening to me. If at all there is any student who fails problem in understanding, I can explain this topic in Hindi, right? इस टॉपिक को अगर आपको कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम लगता है, tell it to me. I will explain that topic in Hindi also. Fine. Okay. So please do chat with me. Aditi. Hi Aditi. How are you? Long time, Aditi, isn't it? How are you, beta? Uh, you can chat with the educator. You can ask your doubts, and I'm here to solve them. All right. Okay. Then there are interactive polls also. If you are on the Unacademy app, then every day we are keeping interactive polls there. So if you have not downloaded the app, please download it now and look for my sessions. I am keeping polls every day. We are learning the topics and we are keeping interactive polls every day, right? So it's really fun. You learn a topic for about 50 minutes and then for 10 minutes you just answer the questions based on that topic. So it's very, very simple, right? And here also on this platform, we are going to have quizzes, but there I have already started. Okay? Yeah, Aditi, it's been so long. Seriously, seriously. I hope you're all doing fine. Everyone is fine at your home. Beta, Biswajit, my class time usually is 3 o'clock, but I'm taking it on Sunday today. I usually don't take class on Sunday, but last week there was a major problem with the network, so I could not take it one day, so I'm taking it today at 5. Otherwise, usually at 3 o'clock. And at the end of the session, there is a link for Telegram. So you join that Telegram group. Every day we update there. All right? Okay, I'm fine, Aditi. I'm very fine. Thank you so much. Right, so these are the mock tests which are available to you. So once you subscribe to the syllabus or the course, then you get access to each one of them, right? This is the app that I'm talking about. Please download the Unacademy Learning app. Downloading the app won't charge you anything. And then you have access to all the live lectures. All right, Biswajit? Beta, there is a Telegram group. And for all of you, you can join that Telegram group, and there we are every day we are uploading where are the classes, on the app or on the YouTube. Okay, these are the subscriptions. Now these subscriptions are available for like there are variety of them available, like for 1 month, for 3 months, for 6 months. But what I would suggest you is to take it for at least 1 year or 24 months, that is 2 years, so that you get a good practice, right? And these are the older rates, bacha log, right? Now they are going to increase. The rates are going to increase soon. So use my code NMYT, you will get 10% discount, and the rates are going to change by the end of this month. So subscribe it fast. All right. Okay. Oh, the Aditi, she will be writing it this year. She'll be writing it this year. Those were ninth prelims. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, Aditi. Fine. She'll be writing 10th board this year. Right? Okay, but chalo. Shall we begin? Biswajit, shall we begin? Are you there, Biswajit? Shall we begin? Here we go. Right? We will be learning about the endocrine glands, and we had started with hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal. Then we did the thyroid and parathyroid in the last class. Biswajit, if you have missed, those sessions are available on the YouTube. You just type my name and you will get all the sessions so far which we have done, right? Okay, okay. Hi, Kedar. How are you? Thank you, Aditi. Okay, Biswajit, shall we move ahead? So today we are going to do thymus and pancreas, two very, very important glands, and we will do everything right from their location, structure, microscopic structure, the hormones, and the imbalance in the hormones. Everything will be right here. Okay, so just pay attention over here. Okay. Okay. I'm saying a big hello to Kedar also. How are you, Kedar? All right. Now, my dear friends, you need to remember the origin of the glands, right? Because you have done this in the tissues. So this is kind of a, you can say a recap for you. All right. When we did pituitary, pineal, and hypothalamus, they were ectodermal in origin, right? Now, thymus gland is, it is endodermal in origin. Can you see? It is endodermal in origin. So like every time I'm going to show you that this is endoderm, mesoderm and ectoderm. These are the three germinal layers in the embryo from which all the organs and organ systems are formed. All right. Okay, Biswajit from Kolkata. Welcome. All right. So thymus is endodermal in origin. Remember that. What is the location of the thymus? Thymus is located between the lungs, behind the sternum, and on the ventral side of aorta. On the ventral side of aorta, right? Thymus is present between the two lungs, behind sternum. So you have the sternum in front of you. Behind that you have lungs. In between sternum and lungs, you have thymus gland. Okay, it's on the ventral side of aorta. Is that okay? Okay, good to know, Kedar. Long time, beta, long time, isn't it? Okay, now structure of the thymus. Thymus is bilobed, which means there are two lobes. What we mean by the word bilobed? There are two lobes. And these lobes are further divided into small lobules. Okay, each lobe is further divided into small lobules. Right, so you have two lobes like this of the thymus, though I'm going to redraw this in our upcoming slide, which I have kept it blank for you people. Hi Sajjan, how are you beta? Okay, and thymus has follicles, like these are the two lobes of the thymus, and if you cut open this, if I cut this, then I will find that it has lobules inside like this. It has lobules inside like this. All right, and it just looks like a lymph node. It looks like a lymph node. So many of the books even consider it as a lymph node for the reason that it stores T lymphocytes, right? We are considering it as the endocrine gland because it produces hormone. Are you getting it? So it is also a lymph node. It is also an endocrine gland. Oh, yes, Kedar. Even I miss my students very much. Really, right? Take care of yourself and stay connected through the channel, right? Okay. So at least I'll be able to help you out through this. Okay? Okay. Okay. Hi, Sajjan. All right. Is this okay to everyone? Shall we move ahead? This was a small description about the thymus. See, in the NCERT, they have given everything, but it's all jumbled. Here, I have sorted this out for you and it's in the form of notes. So you don't have to even prepare your own extra notes. You just have a look at the PPT and it's done for you. All right. So it is endodermal in origin, between the two lungs, behind the sternum, and on the ventral side of aorta. It is bilobes. It has got two lobes, and the lobes then further have smaller things which are known as lobules. The lobe has lobules. All right, it's just like a lymph node. Shall we move? All right. Okay. Now this is the diagram that's given in the NCERT. So I have it for you just to show you the location. See, this is the location, right? This is what we are talking about, thymus. All right, and I'll also show you the location of the pancreas here only, so you get to know this. This is the location of pancreas, though we will do this once again when we start with the pancreas. Now this is thymus. Okay, this is the thymus. This is bilobe. Can you see? This is one lobe, this is another lobe, right? Is that okay to everyone? Shall we move? Okay, all right, shall I move ahead? Okay, so I have kept this blank slide for you people so that I can draw and tell it to you, and then we can go back to the last figure and see how well have we located it. See, These are the, this is your thyroid gland, right? Below thyroid gland, this is trachea. All right. Okay. Now, can you see this? These are the lungs. This is the thyroid, right? This is trachea. And these two are thymus lobes. Okay? And these two are the lungs, right lung and the left lung. So if we go back, this is thymus. In front of it, there would be sternum. There is a sternum over here, and there would be lungs like this. Is that okay to everyone? Right? So this is how the thymus is located. All right. Now we shall look at the microscopic structure of thymus. The thymus is divided, the lobules are divided into two parts, right? The lobules are divided into two regions. If you look at these lobules like this, the outer part is known as, this is known as cortex, and the inner part is known as medulla. So the thymus lobules are divided into two regions, outer cortex, inner medulla. All right. Okay. Now the cortex consists of number of lymphocytes. Which lymphocytes? T lymphocytes. Right. Let us recall few things about the blood. Blood is formed in bone marrow. Right. There are three cells of the blood: RBCs, WBCs, and platelets. RBCs, platelets, both are formed from the bone marrow. WBCs are also formed from the bone marrow. But there is one WBC lymphocyte, which is known as T lymphocyte, which after being formed in the bone marrow comes to the thymus. Right? It comes to the thymus so that it becomes mature. So this entire cortex is filled with T lymphocytes. It is filled with T lymphocytes, right? And the medulla, the inner region, consists of epithelial cells. The inner region consists of epithelial cells. Naturally, these cells are the ones which will provide something for T cells to mature. So T cells which are formed in bone marrow, these are the T lymphocytes formed in the bone marrow. This is a bone marrow, right? And they, after being formed, move towards the lobules of the thymus. Here they undergo the process of maturation. That is why thyroid, the thymus gland, the cortex is full of T lymphocytes, and the inner side has got epithelial cells. These epithelial cells are known as corpuscles of Hassels. All right, I have Divya Jasal joining me. Hi Divya, how are you? Okay, so medulla consists of epithelial cells. They are known as corpuscles of Hassels. So these cells are known as corpuscles of Hassels. Is that okay? Shall we move ahead? Shall we? Okay. Now, this gland, particularly thymus, is very large in case of infants. And right after the birth, it keeps on reducing. So, its size keeps on reducing right after the birth. All right. Okay. And by the puberty, when a person reaches his or her puberty, it becomes very small, right? So, since it is responsible for the maturation of T lymphocytes, we can say that immune response decreases with age. Why? Because as an infant, this gland was very big. Right after the birth, it keep on reducing, and by the time of puberty, it has already become very small. All right. So we can say that as the person ages, his or her immune response decreases, Yes? Yes or no? Okay, okay. नहीं बेटा, Biswajit, you will not get PDF in the Telegram app. ठीक है? If you want PDF, you'll have to download the Unacademy learning app. And downloading the app is free. So there you will get the PDF. ठीक है? Done? Okay. All right. Now hormones of thymus. Hormones of thymus. Okay, let me go once again to back to this. If at all you're finding it a little difficult, thymus, the cortex consists of lymphocytes. The medulla consists of epithelial cells, which are known as corpuscles of Hass cells. The gland keeps on decreasing right after the birth, and so we say the immune response decreases with the age. All right. Okay. Okay, Biswajit. Okay, so hormones of thymus. Now, these hormones naturally something must be related to the maturation of T lymphocytes, right? Because it is now become the school of T lymphocytes. We will come to that. Okay, the hormone that is released is a thymosin. The name of the hormone is thymosin. Simple to remember. Thymus से बना हुआ thymosin. The thymus, the hormone coming from thymus, thymosin. It's a peptide hormone, right? It's a peptide hormone, which means it's a protein hormone, right? Okay, what does it do? As I told you, it helps in the maturation of T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes को mature करने के लिए help करता है, right? Where are T lymphocytes produced? They are produced in bone marrow, but they mature in thymus. But they mature in thymus. All right. Where are T lymphocytes produced? If in the exam the question is asked, where are the T lymphocytes produced? They are born in bone marrow. Where do they mature? They mature in thymus. Okay. Which is the hormone responsible for its maturation? Thymosin. All right. Okay. That is why thymus is also called training school of lymphocytes. Right. It is called training school of lymphocytes. Are you getting it? Thymus is called training school of lymphocytes. Right. And or it is also known as throne of immunity. Thymus is called training school of lymphocytes or throne of immunity. Suppose if a question is asked that due to some reason the thymosin is not produced, then which cells will not get mature? Simple answer. T lymphocells. T lymphocytes will not mature if there is no thymosin. Right? Which is the organ where T lymphocytes mature? T lymphocytes mature in thymus. Is that okay? Okay. Is that okay, bacha log? To everyone? So, there is, I mean, the only disorder that's associated with this hormone is the only thing, the kind of a disorder, because we have to discuss the disorders also. The only disorder associated is lack of immune response. Which immune response? T cells, right? What kind of immune response does T cell provide? T cell provide the cell mediated immunity. T cells provide cell mediated immunity. Hello Pranita, how are you? Right? T cells provide cell mediated immunity. Hi Kalpana, welcome. Okay, now do you want me to describe briefly cell mediated immunity? I'll do that if you want, or else we'll move ahead. Hello Divya, hi bache. Please do let me know through the live chat box. Good evening beta, good evening Divya. Bacha log, those who are listening to me, please tell me, do you want a brief description about cell mediated immunity or we will move ahead? Okay, bache. All right, Kedar, we'll move ahead. Okay? If anyone wants, do let me know. I'll do that. Fine. The next is pancreas. Okay. The next is pancreas. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Okay, bachalo. Chalo. I've got the answer. Okay. Pancreas. Pancreas is another gland Now this gland is both exocrine and endocrine, so we call it as heterocrine. Remember this, it's both endocrine and exocrine, so we call it as heterocrine, right? What is the origin? The origin is endodermal in origin. It is endodermal in origin. Where is it present? It is present on the back side of the stomach in the abdominal cavity in the curve of the duodenum. Right? Too much ho gaya na? Back side as in on the lower side of stomach in the abdominal cavity in the curve of the duodenum. Right? Okay. So suppose if I have to draw this very quickly, I'm going to do that. This is the esophagus. Esophagus opens into the stomach. The stomach then leads to the small intestine. The first part of small intestine is duodenum, and in the duodenum, there is a C-shaped curve. You can see that here a leaf-like structure is present. This is known as pancreas. All right. Now, this particular part of the pancreas, maximum part of the pancreas is exocrine, right? 99% part is exocrine. Only 1% part is endocrine. We'll come to that, right? But is the location clear to everyone? Okay. Is the location clear to everyone? It is pink colored, mixed gland, and see, 99% exocrine and 1% endocrine. What will the exocrine part be known as? The exocrine part is known as acini. The exocrine part is known as acini. Okay? All right. And what does it secrete? Since it is an exocrine part, it will secrete enzymes. If you have done digestion and absorption, like many of my students who are listening to me now, they have done digestion and absorption with me. So the enzymes of pancreas, they help in digestion. You all know that, right? So that 99% is exocrine. Only 1% is endocrine. And believe me that 1% is something that changes someone's life is if those cells are not working properly. All right, can cause major disorders in the body if only those 1% cells are not working properly. Are you getting this? Yes, Biswajit. Okay, okay. Very good. C-shaped duodenum, leaf-like structure, pancreas. Very good. All right. So 1% is endocrine. We are more interested in endocrine because we are learning endocrine gland. We have done the exocrine part with digestion and absorption. If you want any particular topic to be done, you are most welcome. Put it in the live chat box. I will do that for you. Like this particular topic, I'm doing on request of my students. All right. Okay. Now, the endocrine part is made up of scattered glands, right? You know, endocrine is just 1%. तो अभी इतनी सारी भीड़ होगी एक्सोक्राइन की तो वन तो किधर तो भी scattered ही होगा ना, right? So 99% exocrine. Exocrine made up of acini. 1% endocrine made up of scattered glands between the acini, and these glands are known as eyelids of Langerhans. Eyelids meaning islands के जैसे scattered है ना, इसलिए eyelids. Eyelids of Langerhans, discovered by Mr. Langerhans. So in honor of him, we have named it as eyelids of Langerhans. All right. Okay. Sajjan, a very good evening, bache. I am very well. How are you? Do join in the discussion and ask me your doubts. Okay, is that okay to everyone? So suppose if I magnify this image, right? And we make acini like this. These are the acinis. Okay. So these are all the acinis. Everywhere. I'm just showing you a part of it. These are all the acinis. Okay. Now, in between the acinis, you will see the islet of Langerhans cells. These ones. Right? Now, these islet of Langerhans, they are also, though they are scattered, but wherever they are present in a cluster. Right? I'm repeating myself, 99% acini. The blue ones are acini, they are exocrine. The red ones are endocrine, only 1%. Right? Now, this 1% is present scattered, but wherever those scattered cells are present. They're present in clusters. See, they are always present in clusters, and they have a typical arrangement also. Some cells are present in the periphery, some cells are present in the middle, likewise. Okay, everyone's welcome for the class. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, everyone is welcome to the class. Wherever you are, you're most welcome. Learning is for everyone. Okay, all right. Okay, bacha log, have you understood? So 99% exocrine, they occupy most of the place. 1% endocrine, that's I have represented as red color. Is that okay? Right? Anything that you want me to repeat? You know what is the structure, you know the location, you know what it is made up of. The larger ones, acini. The smaller ones, eyelids of Langerhans. Is that okay? Shall we move? Very good. Thank you, Biswajit. Okay, Sajjan has asked me a question, why we cry when we eat spicy food. Okay, Sajjan, I will quickly answer this, though this has got nothing to do with our endocrine system, but I will still do that. Whenever you eat spicy food, you cry because you know what, your tongue has got taste buds. So you can taste salt, sweet, sour, and bitter. There are particular areas. But do you know that there is no taste bud for spicy? Nature has not provided us any taste buds for spicy food. So whenever you are eating spicy, basically you are burning your taste buds. And since you are burning something in your mouth, that is why you cry. Your body is saying, "Arey Baba, don't eat that." Right? Okay. Is that okay? We are moving ahead. Fine. Okay. The cells of islets of Langerhans. The next is, okay, Sajjan, you're most welcome. The cells of islets of Langerhans, right? What do these cells do? That's what we are about to learn. All right, so there are typically 4 types of cells, but you need to specially remember at least 3 types, because the fourth one could be discussed in the digestive. But since now we are discussing it completely, I will tell it to you here also. So those of my students who have done digestive system with me, they will be able to answer quickly. So I'm waiting, and not only them, everyone is welcome to answer over here. Okay, so there are 4 types of cells. What are they? Here they come. Cell number 1, alpha cells. Cell number 1, क्या नाम है? Alpha cells. Okay, now they are the largest of all the cells. So I said that islet of Langerhans will have 4 cells. नाम तो पता चल ही गया होगा, alpha, beta, delta. ठीक है? So alpha are going to be the largest cells, right? But they make up 25% of total cells, right? अब उसको large size तो दे दिया है, तो we cannot give him the largest quantity. तो उसका number reduce कर दिया है, we made it 25%, right? So okay, no, he was asking that why after eating spicy food we cry. So our taste buds, when they are burning, they give a sensation to the brain. Something burning sensation. Our nerves are connected to the taste buds, right? Which implies, and that causes us to, I mean, that the dropping of the tear take place from the eyes. He's not talking about the emotional crying. All right, he's talking about after eating the spicy food. Why do tears drop out of our eyes? Likewise, not only eyes, from nose, everywhere. All right. Okay. Yes, yes, Biswajit. The fourth one, no, beta. The third one is somatostatin. The fourth one is PP, pancreatic polypeptide. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. Wait. Okay. So, alpha cells are the largest cells. They make up 25% of the total cells. And what is their location? See, I told you that those clusters of the islets of Langerhans have a particular arrangement of the cells. So these particular alpha cells are present on the peripheral region. They are present on the peripheral region. All right. Okay. And what do they secrete? They secrete glucagon. They secrete glucagon. So suppose if I have to show it to you, I will show it to you like this. See, these are the acini. You all know. These are the acini. All right. And in between are present our islets of Langerhans. All right. So these are the islet of Langerhans, and on the periphery of these clusters are present alpha cells. So these red larger ones are alpha cells. All right. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, but the entry of isothiocyanate, I mean that's through air. He's talking about through the taste. All right. And yes, but since it's the smallest one, it gets absorbed very easily in the blood, and that is how it is transported. And the irritant, definitely it's an irritant. All right. Okay. Okay. Okay, Kalpana. Fine. Shall we move? The next and the hormone that it secretes is glucagon. All right. So alpha cells, 25% largest, present in the peripheral region, and they secrete the hormone glucagon. All right. Okay. Glucagon. Now we need to know about the hormone glucagon. Okay. Glucagon is polypeptide in nature, right? And its action, what is the mode of action that it does? It raises the blood sugar level. It increases the blood sugar levels in our body. All right. Our body shows fluctuation in the blood sugar level. If a person is not suffering from any sugar related disorders, then also the body shows a lot of fluctuation. Like in the morning when you get up, the sugar levels need to be really low because you have had a sleep of 8 hours. Then your involuntary muscles have used up a lot of glucose. So your sugar levels must be really low that time. So at that time, particularly glucagon comes for a rescue and elevates the blood sugar levels. All right. Okay. Yes, yes, Sanjay. Very good. It increases the blood sugar level, raises the blood sugar level. All right. It converts the glycogen into glucose. It converts the glycogen into glucose. Now, here is our friend liver, right? And this is our digestive tract. Digestive tract had absorbed a lot of glucose in the blood, right? But this blood will first go to liver. This blood will first go to liver, and any excess of glucose will be converted to glycogen, right? So liver actually stores glycogen, but whenever body needs glucose, this is a reversible reaction. This is a reversible reaction. Okay. Okay. So glycogen gets converted to glucose, right? Okay. So what is glucagon? Glucagon increases blood sugar level, right? Glucagon increases, gluca meaning glucose, basically. All right. So glucagon increases blood sugar level. It converts glycogen into the glucose. Where? In liver cells. It converts it promotes gluconeogenesis. What is gluconeogenesis? It is conversion of amino acids and other nutrients to glucose. See, gluco meaning glucose, neo meaning new, and genesis meaning formation. So formation of glucose from new sources other than glycogen. That is known as gluconeogenesis. Is that okay? So the whole sole function of glucagon is to increase the blood sugar level. For that, it first of all acts on the liver cells to convert glycogen into the glucose, right? And also this glucose is then released into the blood. Also promotes gluconeogenesis. Gluco meaning glucose, neo meaning new, genesis meaning formation. So formation of glucose from other sources. Now those other sources are amino acids and other nutrients, right? This happens usually when all your stock of the glycogen is about to get over in the liver. All right. Okay. 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 Yes, yes, Sanjay. Absolutely. Glycogen breakdown is glycogenolysis. Absolutely. This is glycogenolysis. This is glycogenolysis, right? So glycogenolysis and gluconeogenesis. All right. All right. Okay. Is that okay? Shall we move? So will you remember this? Glucagon increases the blood sugar level. It converts glycogen to glucose, as said. Uh, Absolutely correct by Sanjay. That's called glycogenolysis, the breakdown of glycogen, and it also promotes gluconeogenesis, formation of glucose from new sources. Right? Could be amino acids and the other nutrients. Right? Okay, okay. Shall we move? Okay, now my dear friends, this is a diabetogenic hormone. Diabetogenic matlab the one that uh, not actually causes diabetes, but since it increases the blood sugar level, we say it's diabetogenic, right? It is also known as hyperglycemic factor. It is also known as hyperglycemic. Again, hyper meaning increase, glycemic meaning glucose, right? So, different types of terminologies are being used to represent this. So, in exam, if you are asked diabetogenic effect, if you are asked about diabetogenic effect or the hormone that causes diabetogenic effect, whose increase can cause diabetogenic effect, it's glucagon. It's a diabetogenic hormone, right? It's also called hyperglycemic factor. Is that okay to everyone? Shall we move? Okay. The next cell, alpha हो गया, तो naturally beta ही आना चाहिए. So the next cells of islets of Langerhans are beta cells. Now, they are comparatively smaller to alpha cells. They are about, since they are small, they are present in more numbers, 60 to 65%. And what's their location? They occupy a central location and they produce the hormone insulin. All right. Okay. Okay. So, they are small cells, occupy about 60 to 65% of the area. I mean, total cells of all the cells, they are 60 to 65% present in the central region and they secrete insulin. So if I have to redraw that whole same thing for you, quickly I'll do that. The blue ones are acini, which will be secreting enzymes, right? And in between the acinis, you will have the red color border ones are alpha cells. So these are alpha cells on the periphery, and then we will have small ones towards the center. The green ones are beta cells, right? These green ones are the ones which are beta cells. All right. Okay. Yes, diabetes mellitus is associated disorder of the insulin deficiency, right? Is location okay with everyone? With everyone on the periphery alpha, in the center beta cells. Alpha cells only 25% of the total cells, beta cells 60 to 65%. All right. Any doubts? Please do let me know, or else we are moving ahead. Okay. Insulin. It is a polypeptide hormone, right? Again, a protein hormone. What action does it do, right? It decreases the blood glucose level. It decreases the blood glucose level, right? As I told you that during the entire day, your blood glucose level will keep on fluctuating so as to maintain it, or to maintain the glucose at a proper level. The two hormones come for your rescue, glucagon and insulin. If blood glucose is low, glucagon will get activated. If it is high, insulin will get activated. All right. Okay. Okay. Right. It will do just the opposite of what glucagon was doing. It will convert glucose to glycogen. The process is called glycogenesis. Glycogen ka formation, glycogenesis. All right. Okay. It also promotes uptake of sugar by the cells. All right. Except which cells? It has no receptors on these cells. Remember, brain cells, RBC cells, retina, and genital epithelium. Except these cells, on all the body cells, it will enhance the uptake of the sugar. Is that okay? Any doubt or confusion? So if this is my dear friend liver, and in the liver, if glucose is getting converted to glycogen, the process is called glycogenesis. Under the influence of which hormone? Under the influence of insulin produced by beta cells of islets of Langerhans. Okay? Okay? Is that okay? All right. Fine. So it functions opposite to glucagon, but we have many other functions also. So if this is my body cell and we have sugar molecules in the blood, in the presence of insulin, the sugar will be more readily able to penetrate or be able to cross the plasma membrane and enter into the cell. So it increases the uptake of sugar by the cells. Very important, because based on this are the two types of diabetes. Whenever word diabetes comes in front of you, you always believe that it's insulin deficiency. No, we will learn that it's not only sometimes insulin deficiency, something more to it. Okay? All right. Okay. It also promotes, it not only allows glucose to enter in the cell, but also promotes its oxidation. Right? It also promotes oxidation. It prevents the breakdown of the glycogen. So it will do everything to reduce the blood glucose level. Okay. It promotes formation of fat from the sugar. Right? So if there is somewhere, if there is excess of sugar, then that sugar could be converted to subcutaneous fat. It also promotes protein synthesis in the liver and muscles. All right. It inhibits gluconeogenesis. What is gluconeogenesis? Formation of glucose from new source like amino acids. So it inhibits that. It doesn't allow amino acids to get converted to glucose. It inhibits lipolysis. It prevents the breakdown of lipid naturally, because it itself is promoting formation of fat. So how will it increase the lipolysis? All right. Okay. Have you followed? We have a number of actions of insulin. You have to listen to me very, very carefully. Insulin is the one that's a peptide hormone. Number one, it decreases the blood glucose level, right? So it does everything opposite to what glucagon was doing. First of all, it converts glucose to glycogen. The process is called glycogenesis. Formation of glycogen is glycogenesis. This takes place in the liver. Not only does it cause a conversion of glucose to glycogen, but also promotes the uptake of sugar by the cell. जो भी blood में sugar है, वो sugar cells use कर ले. So it promotes that. All right. Except which cells? Except brain cells, RBCs, retina, and genital epithelium. These are not affected by insulin. Right? Okay. It promotes glucose oxidation. Not only does it ensure that glucose enters the cell, but it should get oxidized also, so that this oxidation of the glucose will produce energy in the form of ATP. Because it's an oxidation, naturally you are using oxygen, so you're going to form those 38 ATPs out of it here in the mitochondria. Right? Okay. It prevents the breakdown of glycogens. So it does not allow glycogenolysis. What glucagon was doing, it does not allow. It converts the excess of sugar into the fat that is stored in the form of subcutaneous fat. Right? It promotes protein synthesis in the liver and muscles. It also inhibits gluconeogenesis, formation of glucose from the sources like amino acids, and it inhibits lipolysis, that is breakdown of fat. Is that okay to everyone? Shall we move, my dear friends? Please tell me, shall we move? Shall we move? Okay. Now, certain important facts about insulin. Okay. Very important to know. All right, bachalo. Okay, Biswajit. Fine. Now, these are some things which are not mentioned in this particular chapter, but you have a chapter next year in 12th. If right now you are in 11th, I'm assuming, or if at all you are in 12th, then you must be having a chapter by the name Biotechnology, its application and processes. Isn't it? In that, there is this topic of formation of insulin by the method of biotechnology or using the biotechnology processes. There they have mentioned all these things, right? Now, since we are learning about insulin, this becomes my responsibility to tell you all those facts over here. Though we will not learn to make artificial insulin right now. For that, you will have to wait for that chapter, biotechnology. But these are some of the names uh, that you need to know. All right. Okay. Yes, Sanjay. 51 amino acids. Yes. Very good. All right. Okay. Okay. It was first identified by Benting and Best. So these were the two people who identified the insulin. The molecular structure of insulin was given by A.F. Sanger, and he was even bestowed with the Nobel Prize for that. The human insulin, which we call as humulin, is synthesized in the lab by Sam. All right. Okay. So remember Benting and Best, they were the one who first identified it. A.F. Sanger was the one who gave the molecular structure. And the first human insulin synthesized in the lab was T-SAN. Okay. Now, one molecule of insulin consists of two chains. So there are two chains. This is the A chain and this is the B chain, right? The A chain is known as alpha chain. So this is alpha chain and this is beta chain. The alpha chain comprises of 21 amino acids and beta chain comprises of 30 amino acids. All right. Yes, Sanjay Khatri, Eli Lilly is the company that first synthesized it, right? But the first lab thing was done by T-SAN. The company was Eli Lilly. All right. So what I'm trying to say that the company that started the commercial production was Eli Lilly in 1983. But the first person ever to have synthesized it in the lab and to get the approval, right? That was T-SAN. All right. Okay. Yes, 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 Biswajit. Then we have a third chain also, C chain. All right. We have a third chain also. That's the C chain. Here is the C chain. And this C chain, this is a C chain. This C chain is then removed. The C chain is then removed. So I will virtually remove it over here by using this. My alpha chain only got removed. How come? Okay, so alpha chain, and I will remove now the C chain. Okay, right now this gap in the C chain is then filled with the help of two disulfide bonds. Is that right? Okay, and then there is a disulfide bridge. So there is a disulfide bridge between the two. This is how the human insulin looks like. This is the active form, right? In the active form, C is removed. In the inactive form, C is present, right? In the active form, C is removed. In inactive form, C is present. All right. Okay. Are we done? And you know, when Eli Lilly started with the production of human insulin, what they did, it was difficult to actually remove that C chain and get the two disulfide bonds. So they separated the gene for alpha chain. They separated the gene for beta chain. They put the two genes in two different groups of E. coli, let it multiply, then allowed them to express the gene, collected it, and then artificially or in the lab conditions they uh, they joined it with the help of sulfide bonds, right? Okay. Yes, C absent in the mature insulin. That's what I said. In the active insulin, C is right. Okay. Yes, C absent in the mature insulin. That's what I said. In the active insulin, C is not present. All right. Is that okay? Shall we move ahead? Shall we? Here it is. There is a third chain called C chain in inactive insulin, right? We know that. Now, insulin and glucagon are antagonistic to each other. What do you mean by the word antagonistic? That is, they work opposite to each other. One increases the blood sugar, the other decreases the blood sugar. What is the normal concentration of sugar in our blood? 90 to 110 milligram per 100 ml of blood. Is that okay? Right? So these were some of the facts about the insulin, right? And you will learn that in 12th NCRT, if at all you are not in 12th now, right? Okay, we are moving ahead. Delta cells, right? The third kind of cells are delta cells. Right now, they are also known as gamma cells. They are present in the middle region of the islets of Langerhans, and they make only 10% of the total cells. They secrete somatostatin. They secrete somatostatin. So what are we learning about? The third category of cells, delta cells. The third category of the cells, delta cells. They are known as gamma cells, location in the middle region. 10% of the total cells of islets of Langerhans are delta cells, and they produce somatostatin. Yes, Biswajit, right? They are antagonistic hormones. Okay, what is the function of somatostatin? It regulates the activity of both insulin and glucagon. In short, it inhibits them, right? It inhibits them wherever it is required. So it keeps a check or control on them, right? So it's like a big brother of the insulin and glucagon. If they are not functioning properly or if they are secreted in the excessive amount, then it keeps a check and regulates their activity, rather inhibits them. All right. Is that okay? Shall we move? And the last kind of cells, F cells or PP cells. F cells or PP cells. Okay, what do they secrete? They secrete pancreatic polypeptide, which is known as pancreatic polypeptide hormone. The fourth category of cell, F cells or PP cells, they secrete pancreatic polypeptide hormone. What is their action? They cause reabsorption of nutrients in the intestine. So they do not have any function of controlling the blood glucose level. So actually, because they are used or their action is in the intestine to enhance the absorption of the nutrients, they are discussed in the digestion and absorption chapter. But since we are doing pancreas over here, we need to know this. So I have incorporated these cells also, so as to give you a complete picture of them. All right. And they are very, very few. They are very few. Right. Okay. Any doubt to anyone in this particular thing? We are done with the cells, all the four types of cells of pancreas: alpha cells, beta cells, delta cells, and F cells. Alpha cells, glucagon increases blood sugar level. They are 25% largest cells present on the periphery. Beta cells, they produce insulin, decrease the blood sugar level 60 to 65% in the middle region of islets of Langerhans, right? They are small cells. Delta cells, again present in the middle region. 10% of all the cells produce somatostatin, and it regulates the activity of both insulin and glucagon. Last one, F cells or PP cells. Biswajit, once we are done with the endocrine system, I'm going to start with biomolecules, because that was what asked by the students. If you have any particular chapter that you want to revise or study with me, do let me know and write it in the chat box. I will do that also. All right. Okay. Next is F cells or PP cells, which are pancreatic polypeptide. They act on the intestine and enhance the absorption of the nutrients. All right. Okay. Disorders of pancreas. Very, very important part. Disorders of the pancreas. We are about to finish with this topic now. All right. Disorders of the pancreas. Insulin related disorders. Here we go. Right. Suppose if there is hyper secretion of insulin. If there is too much secretion of insulin, the condition is known as hyperinsulinism. The condition is known as hyperinsulinism. Thank you, Kalpana. Biswajit, you can tell me what chapter you want, right? But after this, once we are done with endocrine, I think we'll take just one more session and we will be done with endocrine. We will be starting then with biomolecules. Okay? Okay. So increased in the secretion of insulin is known as hyperinsulinism. Uh, because of increased secretion of insulin, naturally the glucose level in the blood will go down. So there will be hypoglycemia. There will be hypoglycemia, very less blood sugar level. Because of less sugar in the blood, there will be an exhaustive feeling all the time. A person gets exhausted very easily. He has a feeling of being tired because your cells require glucose continuously. Your brain cells require continuous supply of the glucose, and if there is low blood glucose level, then naturally you feel exhausted. Your muscles also require glucose for the activity, right? So lack of the sugar to the brain cells, retina and genital epithelium. uh, if the condition persists for a longer time, the person may also lose the reproductive abilities. All right. Okay. And patient may feel cramps. Naturally, see, why do we feel cramps? The cramps we feel because the muscles are not getting enough nutrients. Either they are not getting glucose properly or they are not getting calcium properly. These are the two things that they require continuously along with oxygen, right? So oxygen to band nahi kar sakte na hum. So either because thanks to this fashion fiesta world, that people are going on diet and they feel cramps. So if you are feeling cramps in the body, which means you have low glucose and low calcium levels, so please keep a check on that. All right. And person can become unconscious. So these are the things which happen during the hyper secretion of insulin. All right. These are the things which happen in the hyper secretion of insulin. But thanks to present lifestyle, हाइपर सिक्रीशन होता ही नहीं है, हाइपोसिक्रीशन होता है. Right, we'll go to that. Here it comes. Hyposecretion of the insulin. Hyposecretion of the insulin leads to diabetes mellitus. The disease is known as diabetes mellitus. Common language में लोग उसे कहते हैं sugar हो गई है. The person is suffering from sugar disorder. Right? It's actually diabetes mellitus. What's the reason? The insulin level are not secreted properly. Insulin is not secreted properly in our body. Right? Now here the amount of blood sugar increases. The level of the sugar in our blood increases. The condition is called hyperglycemia. Hyper meaning excess, glycemia meaning sugar level, right? So the condition is called hyperglycemia. Okay. The increased glucose levels in the blood leads to, now please remember these names very carefully. Please remember these names. They are all there. They are all there. They are all there in your text. Remember these names. Somewhere or the other, if not in endocrine system, they must be there in the excretory system, and they are there. I am telling you. If a person has less insulin in the body, the glucose level increases, right? Now, since the glucose level increases, no, this is not excessive hunger, my dear friends. Glucose urea meaning glucose in urine. The person suffers from glucose in urine. There is glucose being eliminated in the urine. That is called glucose urea, right? There is also acidosis. Glucose is excreted through the urine, and the blood level goes above 180 milligram per dl. See, what was the blood glucose level? 90 to 110 is the normal. If it goes above the threshold, this is the renal threshold. What is renal threshold? अगर तुम्हारा blood sugar level 120 भी होता है, you will not eliminate sugar in your urine because your kidneys can cope up with that. But if it becomes more than 180, even your kidneys give away. They are like, bas ab, I cannot handle it anymore, and they start excreting urine, the glucose in the urine, right? So when the glucose level exceeds the renal threshold, you have glucose in urine. You have glucose in urine. So glycosuria is glucose in urine, right? Ketoacidosis meaning ketone bodies. There will be ketone bodies in the urine. So the urine of such people will have that acetone smell. Weird to say, but will have a sweet smell. All right. Okay. Okay, there will be polyuria. There will be excessive urge for urination. Such people will have excessive urge for urination because the osmotic pressure of the blood has gone high because of the presence of glucose in their blood. So they always want to eliminate uh, or excrete urine. So their urge for urination will increase. They will have polydipsia, excessive thirst. Now, since because they are urinating a lot, their blood volumes go down and they would want more water. They are very thirsty. All right. Okay. They have polyphagia, right? Now, polyphagia meaning polyphagia is excessive hunger. Polyphagia is excessive hunger. Polyphagia is excessive hunger. Right? Polyphagia is excessive hunger, right? And they will have ketonuria. Ketonuria meaning removal of ketone from the urine. They will have ketoacidosis, that is degradation of fats and produce ketone bodies. There will be degradation of fat and there will be production of ketone bodies, right? Look only at this side. Look only at this side. There is some jumbling which has taken place. Look only on the left hand side of the screen. Glucosuria, glucose in urine. And listen to what I am saying, right? Glucosuria, glucose in urine. Ketoacidosis, degradation of fat to produce ketone bodies. Polyuria, excessive urination. Poly meaning excess, urea meaning urination, right? Polydipsia. Polydipsia meaning excessive thirst. They want to have water continuously. Polyphagia, because see, their blood glucose levels are high, but the glucose is not entering their cells. Glucose is not entering their cells because insulin is very less. So in that case, they will have, they will continuously feel hungry. So there will be polyphagia and there will be ketonuria. There will be excretion of acetone, ketone bodies. So their urine will be sweet smelling. Now this is one of the pathological tests. The first test that is done is the smell of the acetone. All right. Okay. Shall we move? Okay. Now, diabetes, you know that, you know this disorder, diabetes, you would have heard it a number of times, and could be possible that someone known to you is suffering from this. Now, there are two types of diabetes, right? Diabetes type 1 and diabetes type 2. Rather, there is one more diabetes which is induced during pregnancy. So that's pregnancy induced diabetes. We are not going to talk about that. We are only going to talk about type 1 and type 2 diabetes. All right. What is type 1 diabetes? Type 1 diabetes is also called insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. फिर से एक बार. It is called insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. The diabetes mellitus which is dependent on insulin is insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. It occurs merely due to deficiency of insulin, right? And it's an autoimmune disorder. It's an autoimmune disorder. Your own body starts degrading your own pancreatic cells, especially okay, Biswajit, for that we'll have to wait for the cutoff beta. But yes, I mean, 400, 450, right? Depending upon which state. Okay? Okay. Okay, Biswajit. So, type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disorder. Your own body cells are being killed by your own antibodies. So, here your pancreas are basically destroyed. Since pancreas are destroyed, there is deficiency of insulin, and that is why it is known as insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. The treatment is insulin therapy. What treatment is given is insulin therapy. Okay, now this is the one that occurs. I mean, mostly if any adolescent or a child is suffering from diabetes, then that is always type 1 diabetes. If any child of the age of 9, 10, or could be an adolescent who is diagnosed with the diabetes, usually it is type 1 diabetes, which is an autoimmune disorder. The pancreas are being attacked by your own antibodies. So the therapy is insulin therapy. What most of the elderly people suffer from is type 2 diabetes. What most of the elderly people suffer from is type 2 diabetes. What is type 2 diabetes? Let us have a look at type 2 diabetes. Okay, now type 2 we have to make a contrast na type 1 and type 2 mein. So this is the contrast. Insulin independent diabetes mellitus, NIDDM, insulin independent diabetes mellitus, right? So independent ka id liya hai, right? Here it was insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. So IDDM or NIDDM, which means this diabetes is not due to insufficiency of insulin, it is due to decreased sensitivity of receptors to the insulin. We know that if this is our body cells, the body cells have got receptors. This is a receptor on the surface of the plasma membrane, and suppose this is the insulin hormone, right? Now insulin is a membrane bound hormone, so it attaches to the receptor on the plasma membrane and brings about its effect. Now suppose this attaching to the receptor becomes inefficient, or receptors lose their sensitivity, then howsoever insulin you have in your body, it will not be sufficient. Why? Because your cells are not responding to the insulin only, right? That is type 2 diabetes. It is not dependent on insulin. It is not dependent on insulin. So it is known as insulin independent diabetes mellitus. Here what happens? That the sensitivity of the receptors to the insulin decreases. They develop insulin resistance. They develop insulin resistance. Are you following? Here, insulin was not produced because your gland is destroyed, right? But here it's not like that. Insulin has, the cells have become insulin resistant. They are not responding to the insulin, so the pattern of treatment will change over here. Is that okay? Okay, my dear friend, so we come to an end of this topic, and let me know if you have any doubts. I can wait for still 3-4 more minutes, so that if you have any doubts, then I will clarify them over here. My dear friends, Biswajit, Kalpana, Pranita, Sanjay, nobody special, Kedar, Sajjan, Divya. If you have any doubt, do let me know. We will revise that part once again. I'm waiting for you, dear friends. Please do let me know. And Biswajit, right now on the screen, you can see that Telegram wala link, right? Okay, Biswajit is asking me about holozoic nutrition. Okay, so which chapter you are doing, Biswajit, right now? Which chapter you are doing? And you also tell me which chapter you want me to discuss. Biswajit, are you there? Okay, I'll do that for you. Let me erase everything over here. So I'll find some space. Biswajit, are you there, बच्चे? Holozoic nutrition. Holozoic का मतलब है जब भी food is getting inside. This is human mouth. The food is getting inside, and inside the body, you take the food, it passes through the stomach and intestine and all those areas, and finally it gets digested and you absorb it in your blood. It's a part of, Holozoic is a part of heterotrophic. It's a part of heterotrophic mode of nutrition, right? Biswaji, tell me which chapter are you doing, beta? Are you doing digestion and absorption? Are you doing digestion and absorption? And any chapter that you want me to repeat or take up next? Though the next that on my students' demand, we are going to start with the biomolecules first. Okay? So we will first start with the biomolecules and let me know any chapter. And after that, we have locomotion and movement also. Right? Is that okay, Biswajit? Okay, you are doing digestion or you want me to take digestion? Which chapter? You want me to take digestion? Okay. So you stay connected with the this English channel, Unacademy NEET UG in English, and I always take lecture over here afternoon 3 o'clock. Usually I don't take on Sundays, but you keep on checking. You join that Telegram ka link. This is the link. Okay, digestion and absorption. Okay, I'll keep it in mind. Okay. Okay. So this is the Telegram link. Through this, you can join the Telegram, and there we keep on telling which are the sessions upcoming for the week. All right. I hope you liked this lecture and session of mine. So do hit the bell icon so that next time whenever I'm online, you get a notification for that. Do download that app, Unacademy's learning app, and there many free live classes are going on. You can get the PDF material there and subscribe to the courses so that you get access to all the lectures, all of them, right? Then you don't have to wait. All right. The code is NAMYT and you get 10% discount if you use this code. Right? Okay, bacha log. Any other doubt? Biswajit? Anything else? Anything else? Okay, I hope you got the link. Do share it with your friends also. Like, share, and subscribe. Right? Okay, so we will move ahead, bacha log, and I'll see you then on Tuesday. I will see all of you on Tuesday. I will not be taking YouTube class tomorrow, but on Tuesday, right? I'll take the class on Tuesday. Bye.